Now, in the lead up to the operation that I just mentioned, you had supported the US strikes on the alleged drug boats near Venezuelan waters, and in the past you have called for an operation to oust Mr. Maduro as well. But considering how things have unfolded since then, the fact that Maduro's handpicked deputy is still in power, have you changed your opinion of that operation, or you still stand by it?
So let me try to put this in a broader frame. The first thing is the operation against Nicolas Maduro was lawful since he was indicted in the United States for narco trafficking. He's not legitimate, and he was not a legitimate president in Venezuela. In fact, he stole 3 elections in a row, and he was the equivalent in Latin America to a Slobodan Milosevic, a systematic violator of human rights, someone who had practiced genocide and who had silenced any voice against his administration, having many of the leaders in the democratic resistance to leave Venezuela and triggering one of the most horrendous massive migration mobilizations ever in Latin America due to the lack of opportunities and the destruction of social capital. So I think the operation against Maduro, I support it, and I will continue to support it. Now, Delcy Rodriguez is not a legitimate president, but we understand that it is part of the US strategy to stabilize the country, to recover the country, and to guarantee a successful transition to democracy. Those 3 elements can overlap. So it's very important that the world and the United States understands that Delcy Rodriguez is going to try to play games to preserve power. But I think there's enough knowledge about her and her inner circle. So I think the United States will put pressure for the release of all political prisoners, to the dismantle of all the repression apparatus, to guarantee the return of all the democratic resistance leaders, and to stabilize this into what should be the sequence of the calling of free elections and guarantee the transition. But also having in mind that there has to be some kind of a board that guarantees that all this sequencing happens with transparency and guaranteeing the rights of the Venezuelan people. And the person who has to be also in that table is Edmundo Gonzalez, who's now the legitimate president of Venezuela, who won the election in 2024. So it's very important to understand the sequence. And yes, we will support. And I think the message that we are trying to give also to the United States, thanking for the operation, is yes, it was very important that the tyrant is out, but now the tyranny has to be dismantled.